Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. The Shadow of a God by DirtyRippedPaper Chapter 3, To Become Equals and Individuals. JinWoo. Rimuru stopped him from going away. Where do you think you're going? It's the middle of the night. JinWoo looked at her for a second and answered, I just have some business to attend to. He walked away. Rimuru held JinWoo back, pushing him against the wall, face near her own. What business? I need to get stronger. You know what I told you, right? I am a hunter that becomes stronger each fight. What fight? Are you gonna meet up with some gangsters? Rimuru covered her mouth. No, of course not. JinWoo flailed his arms around. I picked a key up as a reward. It's a key to a dungeon. I can get stronger by fighting the monsters that reside in it. Like a video game. Rimuru stared in awe, but I still don't get why you're doing all of this. JinWoo swallowed his saliva. I wish to become your equal. JinWoo spoke to Rimuru. She looked back at him and smiled, do as you please. We've been equals since the start, JinWoo. She turned her back from him and went home. What the fuck happened in that dungeon? Rimuru wondered. Well, Sung Jin-woo was in a life and death situation. Had he not agreed to become a player of the system, he would have died. Humans are fragile creatures. They are both physically and spiritually mortal. Sung Jin-woo is not an exception to that. He will live and die as a human. That is exactly why I'll protect him as much as I can. You can live with Sung Jin-woo until his lifespan reaches its end. I've seen his life expectancy, it's until around 90 years old with how things are going. That is an option. Life would be mundane after the age of 40, but I think if JinWoo's with me it'll be okay. My thoughts were interrupted by a man I've become acquainted with due to him pestering me. Choi Jong-in. Why are you here to see me? I asked him, taking away the cigarette he held in his hand, throwing it onto the ground. I wonder why someone of your caliber would tell the world's weakest hunter that you and him are equals. Does it not taint your name? He held my chin up, looking into my eyes. This look. It's somewhat similar to Benimaru's, yet there's a missing flame in it. What is your business with me? I slapped his hand away. Of course I came here to try and recruit you again, though. That man from before seems quite promising as well. He has to be, if even you, who didn't want to become acquainted with me, seems to hold value for him. He took notice of Sung Jin-woo. That isn't really good. I don't need your guild. I can make it as a hunter on my own. I'll start a guild on my own if I have to. Then why don't you? Is it because of him? I will bring that man to his glory. I will do whatever it takes if it meant that he would be safe. I'll walk at the same pace as he does. But why? Why, you ask? Simple. It's just more fun that way. Though, if by chance he becomes insolent, I won't hesitate to make him kneel. That's somewhat right. I mean, if his insolence reaches a new level, I won't sit still. Choi Jong-in was speechless at what I said. Right now, you sounded pretty cool, huh? I'm always cool. He chuckled at my words. By looks, he resembled Benimaru, but if you compared his personality, it was more akin to a mix of Diablo and Sue, with Sue being the majority. A sly, conniving little fox. I wonder what they're doing right now. The moon is particularly bright tonight. Are you ignoring me? I could never. I was totally ignoring him. Notice me, will you? He begged. Like a dog begging for food. How fun. Bark and I'll be a member of your guild, I joked. With his ego he could never do it, but it'd be fun to watch if he ever did. He stayed silent. I guess I hoped too much. Bark. What? Bark. What? Bark. What? I said bark. He fell down to his knees in embarrassment. This dude literally just said the word bark. It's the thought that counts, I guess. I never thought he'd do it or anything remotely similar. I kneeled down and looked him in the eyes. You like me a bit too much, don't you? I like you. I like you very much. Too bad I don't like you even the slightest bit, I teased. I know this dude got feelings for me, but it still surprises me every time we meet. Gosh, he even got the title of Korea's strongest second male lead. I remember that one time we went on the news. That was a field day of me trying to dispute the rumors when he was fanning the fire. Why did he get that title? Oh, right. Shots of me and JinWoo went viral, so everyone knew his love was unrequited. I was in the midst of looking through my memories before Choi Jong-in interrupted me. So, will you join my guild? His eyes sparkled. He really was expecting me to join his guild? I stood up and said, you didn't bark the way I wanted. He was about to cry a river after I spoke. I really wanted to stay and see it, but I had to go home now. I'll return to this gate once I become stronger. I looked at the gate in front of me after I slayed the monster. I'm not enough, not yet. How can I call myself Rimuru's equal when she would have effortlessly slain this monster had she been here? I need to get stronger. I will get stronger. For Rimuru, for my sister, and for my mother. It's been a few months since the incident, yet it can't seem to get out of my mind. Now that I've been called by the guild to attend a raid, it bothers me now that I am reminded of it. I'll be going now. Oh, going on another raid? Well, stay safe. Not like you ever do, she whispered the last part. I chuckled at her, but for real, stay safe out there. I will. I was walking on the streets when I bumped into a person I'm familiar with. Hey, are you Mr. Sung? Mr. Song Kai-yeol? I didn't recognize you. You look so different from before. I can't seem to find a trace of your old self. Mr. Song Kai-yeol looked down at me, shocked. But how did a torn leg come back? Well, when I came to my senses it was fine. Even I, myself, have no idea of what happened. Good, it's a bad thing if a young man like you becomes disabled. I looked at his left arm, or at least what was supposed to be there. I pity him. I walked with him to the scene of the dungeon, and there we saw the surviving members of that day. Ju-hee. And Mr. Kim Sang-shik. JinWoo. You've changed so much, Ju-hee said. She started asking me all these questions, but was interrupted by someone. What a romantic atmosphere. Is somebody filming a drama here, or do hunters date each other nowadays? Something about his words ticked me off. It made the thought of Rimuru appear in my mind for some reason. I can't tell why. Shut up, you fools. This isn't a picnic, a man I've never met before spoke. Hey, what's going on here? Song Kai-yeol asked the girl in charge. Oh, those people? They are rehabilitators that will join the raid with you hunters. Rehabilitators? Are you telling us to go raiding with criminals? Even if they are criminals, they were hunters in the past. It's not rare for hunters that committed crimes to serve time in dungeons to reduce their sentence, she explained to Song Kai-yeol. Don't worry, the monitoring department's hunter gang Tae Shik will participate in the raid. The rehabilitators are all C rank, gang Tae Shik is a B rank. Approximately 10 C ranks are needed to beat a B rank. I thought about it for a moment. Gang Tae Shik, huh? He looks suspicious. It's best to not trust him. Ju-hee, I ask of you to drop out of this raid. What about you? Of course I'm going. Then so am I. Ju-hee has been with me since the start of my life as a hunter. All my injuries were healed by her. I think of her as an important person in my life. I wish for her to be safe. Then I'll protect you. She looked surprised at my words, even blushing at them. Then, we should enter the dungeon now, Song Kai-yeol told us, and we went. Gang Tae Shik approached Song Kai-yeol to inform him, and Song Kai-yeol went to look at us. Are you okay with me being the leader? Yeah, I'm fine with it. He bowed down and expressed his thanks since we gave him a second chance as a leader. We encountered monsters, and each time the prisoners, no, rehabilitators destroyed them. The looks on their faces reminded me of the monsters themselves. It seems the line between monster and human seems to blur day by day. I don't trust them one bit. I looked to my side. Should I trust them? It seems Sung has improved quite a bit. Where did you get such a good dagger? It's strange seeing the barehanded Sung now wield a dagger. Song Kai-yeol spoke, putting me out of my thoughts. I can trust them. I've trusted them for a while now. That won't change even now. He's right. I didn't need to heal you even once. Usually at this time I'd need to heal you. Did you train in martial arts while you were gone? Ju-hee added. I just exercise from time to time. I looked at her. I noticed that she's been shivering since we've encountered the goblins. Her trauma must run deep. Poor girl. The life of a hunter isn't suited for her anymore. The group kept walking until we encountered 3 pathways in front of us. Since the difficulty is relatively low, why don't we split up? Although the danger might increase, the clearance time would decrease, Gang Tae Shik suggested, to which Song Kai-yeol agreed. I'll take the criminals to the path on the right, so if you find the boss room you can quickly go and tell us. I analyzed the paths and saw that the left was the path that'd lead us towards the boss. Mr. Song Kai-yeol, let's go to the left, he nodded. Gang Tae Shik stared at me weirdly, as if he didn't like me. That guy. He worries me. After walking for about 10 or 20 minutes, we were alerted by a scream that was pure fear. One that shook our bodies. This killing intent. We have to go back, Mr. Song Kai-yeol. We ran back as fast as we could, and the bastard, Gang Tae Shik, tried to attack us, yet I managed to block him. He looked at me with interest. Whoa, pretty fast, huh? The fuck you think you're doing? I asked, gripping his hand. You actually stopped that? Your senses are pretty sharp. He backed away. I guess I'll have to change the plan. Which is? I put my hand in front of Joo-hee in an effort to protect her. I'm going to kill you all. Why is a guild member doing this? As Song Kai-yeol said that, I noticed a figure in my peripheral vision. I remembered a conversation he had with his family which he told us about. At the end of the day, he is a husband and a father. Mr. Kim Sang-shik. I stared at his bloody body which looked like it was going to die at any second. Ms. Joo-hee, heal him. Now, Joo-hee just stood there, mouth agape at the sight. Tisk. I know that she's traumatized, but why? You can't save me anyways. You can. Stop. I lost too much blood. Blood started pouring out his mouth after he finished his words. Seeing him like this makes my heart feel as if it's being torn apart. I hate his guts, so. Why? If only Rimuru was here, she could heal him. Shit. 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 I hate him. You have to live. You said you had to live for your family. You have to live no matter what. I hated this feeling. You have to live, so that I can hate you, no matter what, so that I can hate you. His voice was weak and coarse. I'm sorry, I really am. He just looked pitiful. I didn't want to apologize like this. I wanted to apologize, with my head down. He coughed blood. But, if I bow my head down now, I'll die. Mr. Sung, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. Mr. Kim Sang-shik. Shit, if only Rimuru was here, she could heal him. If a god exists out there, help him. His head fell down, his breathing stopped. In the corner of my eye I saw a familiar figure walking towards us. She knelt at the bloody body of Mr. Kim Sang-shik and she trapped them both in some sort of box. Rimuru. Why are you here? To look after you. This man, you said he can't die, right? Joo-hee, who was frozen, was set to the side. With the appearance of Rimuru who could now take care of Mr. Kim Sang-shik, I was motivated. I had to destroy the bastard that hurt Mr. Kim Sang-shik at all costs. Why did you do that to Mr. Kim Sang-shik? Dunno. Could have been a monster for all we know, he shrugged. The bastard thought for a bit before speaking. I thought of a good story. It was supposed to be a goblin massacre, but there's been a change of plans. The criminals broke free and tried to escape. After killing all of you, they tried to kill me, but alas. 3C ranks can be no match for a B rank. Therefore, I was the only one that survived the raid. You son of a bitch. I was about to lunge forward at him, but Mr. Song Kai-yeol stopped me. Mr. Kim is someone I've gotten somewhat close to during our time together on raids. I wish to at least give a shot at defeating the man who's wounded him so badly. Ms. Joo-hee, could you give me a physical buff? He picked up the sword Mr. Kim left on the floor besides him. Physical buffs on a magician is useless. But for now, I am a swordsman. He raised his sword at the bastard. Despite only having one arm left, he wanted to fight using the sword. A swordsman through and through. Even Rimuru, who was well versed in swordsmanship, couldn't help but be in awe at Mr. Song Kai-yeol's determination as a swordsman. Mr. Song and the bastard started fighting each other with Mr. Song slashing at him while the other kept blocking and dodging. Their movements were fast and precise. To me, who had never seen Mr. Song wield a sword. It was quite a sight to see. Gang Tae Shik had an idea and targeted Joo-hee. Luckily, Mr. Song struck at him from behind. You shouldn't turn your back on a swordsman. The two started fighting again, and just when I thought Mr. Song had a chance. A magician can never match an assassin's speed. He started cutting at Mr. Song's body, leaving multiple wounds in just 5 seconds. Mr. Song fell to the ground in pain, groaning in agony. Rimuru rushed towards Mr. Song and healed him in only a second. Gang Tae Shik stepped forward towards us, and suddenly he was lit in flames by Mr. Song. Unfortunately, it was in vain as Gang Tae Shik managed to escape the flames. I guess it's time up, old man. He tried to strike Mr. Song, but another flame lit. A brighter, yet darker flame than before. Our Rimuru? I only helped, ya. Gang Tae Shik emerged from the flames, evidently furious. You. He tried to run after Rimuru, but I stopped him. Your opponent is now me. I spoke to him as we clashed our weapons. You. Who are you? What is your rank? Tell me. He sounded weaker than before. My name is Sung Jin-woo, and I am an E rank. You can't be an E rank. That's impossible. I fell back. Mr. Song, the man who couldn't last in a fight for more than 5 minutes with Gang Tae Shik, was shocked to see me standing my ground. How long will he last? Mr. Song stared intently at the scene of his fighting. However long he needs to, Rimuru replied. Joo-hee was shivering at the sight. Rimuru took notice and pulled her close, embracing her. Stay safe, Ems. Gang Tae Shik was all riled up and desperately wanted to attack me. If you were a power type, then unleashing that kind of strength would have been possible, even for an E rank. However, seeing your reaction speed right now, you're not normal, he blabbered. You've been hiding your strength, haven't you? He contemplated all the possibilities. A false ranker? No, that can't possibly be it. It looks like you've known them for a long time. There's only one possible answer, you've been reawakened, he came to his conclusion. Mr. Sung. Reawakened? Joo-hee and Mr. Song yelled in unison. Judging by their reaction, you've been reawakened recently. You seem like a newbie hunter, so let this superior teach you a lesson. He walked towards me slowly. Tell me, why did you do all of this? I'm not doing this for fun or whatnot. I can't just refuse a father whose daughter was manhandled by these criminals. I tried refusing by raising the price, but he was really insistent. I'll give you a deal. If you promise not to speak about today's accident, then I'll let you go, he added. Judging by your expression, you still want to show us who's superior, huh? His expression turned into something far more wicked than the previous, and pounced at me. Our weapons clashed with him doing the first move. It doesn't matter if you believe me or not, it's just a shame that you'll die along with these insects. His words made me grin. Then you're damn pitiful as well. What? You'll die soon along with those you've killed. I don't know how many ranks you rose since being reawakened as an E rank, but it's not as easy as you think. He struck at me while I deflected his move. I slashed my dagger at him while he dodged, slow. As expected of an assassin-type hunter, his movements are insanely fast. To the outside, our moves were hardly distinguishable. We moved at a speed that made all our movements blurry to the eye. Hey, 3 billion won is too little for this job now. Who would have thought I'd meet a hunter of this level here? His tone was confident, but the drops of sweat on his face disapproved it. I knew he was worried, and I was too. Both of our speed were fast, no one had the upper hand in speed. We were on par. Even if your eyes can catch up, it's no use if your body can't. Joo-hee gave me a physical buff in the midst of my battle. The bastard was becoming weak, or so I thought. Those slashes of his became faster, all swinging at me. Unexpectedly, he threw his weapon at Joo-hee. I reached out to her, but fortunately Rimuru blocked the weapon. I looked at Mr. Kim and saw that he was finally breathing, and it looked like all his wounds were gone. You forgot about me. I'm quite a formidable foe as well, Rimuru said, as if she was sulking about being forgotten. It was then that I could see the bastard begin to panic so obviously. He had gotten so distracted by her presence that he didn't pay attention to me. Your foe is me. I struck him, leaving a big wound on his face. His killing intent is insane, leaving the system with no choice but to give me a quest to kill him. Open hollow corner bracket emergency quest. Extermination. There are players who have killing intent towards you in close proximity. Slay them and ensure your safety. If the quest is not completed, your heart will stop. Number of players to kill. 1. Number of players killed. 0. Close hollow corner bracket. I'm thankful to the system this time. It's given me another reason to kill you. I glared at him. Our weapons clashed, the air in the area almost no more. A class that specializes in daggers and agility. A close-range damage dealer primed in assassination. Aren't I the best counter to you? I certainly am learning a lot from you. Especially the fact that talkative guys in battle are generally useless. Open hollow corner bracket movement speed will increase by 30%. -1 mana will be consumed every minute. Close hollow corner bracket. I rushed towards him, slashing him with my dagger. Open hollow corner bracket effect. Paralysis has activated. Effect. Bleed has activated. Your health will now decrease by 1% per second. Close hollow corner bracket. Look like your dagger can apply some interesting effects. Open hollow corner bracket. The enemy's resistance was too high. The effect is cancelled. Close hollow corner bracket. His face contorted into a sly and confident expression. Now, allow me to show you something fun. He disappeared into smoke. What? His presence is gone. An attack came for me out of thin air and I blocked it, luckily. Your sense is great. You blocked my attack despite me concealing my presence. Skill. Stealth allows me to erase my shape, smell, sound, and even aura. It's quite rare in even assassin-type hunters. Nobody knows I have this skill, the reason being. Not a single soul has survived after witnessing this skill of mine. He talks so much. At this point, my ears are gonna bleed. He cut my tendons, causing me to groan in pain and drop to the ground. Your tendons are severed. It would heal quickly if you were healed directly, but at this distance only the basic. His words were cut off. Stop talking shit. I know some people are just crazy talkative, but isn't it a bit too excessive at this point? Rimuru's voice echoed through the cave. He backed away for a bit. It looks like even Gang Tae Shik is fearful of Rimuru. That's the demon lord for you. Don't be too scared, kid. Your foe isn't me, it's him. She pointed at me. Hey, it'll take too much time for him to heal. You talk too much. Open hollow corner bracket status recovery. Close hollow corner bracket. After I used status recovery, he was clearly in a state of fear and weariness. Relying on this alone has its limitations. I need to think of other solutions. I stared into the space we were in. I still couldn't physically see the bastard, but I could sense him. Even anger itself is a waste on the likes of you. I rushed at him, aiming for the neck. He backed away. There's no hesitation when you aimed for my neck. Ah, I see what we have in common now. You're just like me. You are willing to kill if that's what it takes. After that he started blabbering a ton of nonsense I couldn't even bother to listen to. He started slashing at me, yet I deflected every single one of his moves. What a pain. He attacked me from above, probably thinking I couldn't predict or sense his move. Open hollow corner bracket skill. Bloodlust was activated. Close hollow corner bracket. It was like my shadow consumed him, making him stop. The moment was right, it was now. My dagger pierced through the skin of his chest, and went to his heart. I am the victor. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Hunters are those who witness countless deaths and take lives as well. Because it's usually a life or death, they not only fight against monsters, but amongst themselves too. We are perfect killing machine, and the same applies to you. Hunters and ordinary humans cannot be categorized as the same. I'll die because I lost, it's only natural. Even as he's dying, he finds a way to say a lot, huh? What are you? Silence filled the area before I could think of something. Let's just say, I'm a hunter that grows stronger from each battle I face. How strong do you think I can get? I asked. Your shadow is connected to the darkness. You will become as strong as your shadow's depth in the dark. He finally died. What a nice show, JinWoo. I heard her say. I pulled out the dagger from his body. Open hollow corner bracket alarm. You have received rune. Stealth. A skill can be obtained by breaking the rune close hollow corner bracket. Hey, you guys. I'll close the dungeon gates first. Go and report this to the guild while I'm at it. Song Kai-yeol and Ju-hee went outside while carrying Kim Sang-shik, but Rimuru stayed for a bit more. Why don't you go? I will. She looked at me in a different way from before, as if she was looking through my very soul. You've changed, JinWoo. I've grown. My words made her sigh in disappointment. Do you regret going to that raid? She asked. I thought about it for a bit. I don't. She swallowed her saliva. Why not? I've become a better version of myself through that experience. No, I've become the best version of myself. She looked like she was reminiscing a distant memory, though I can't put together why. You're right, JinWoo. You've grown. So that's why you need to be wary of people now. What? She walked past me, my eyes glued to her figure. I heard a faint whisper, though loud enough for me to hear. Even me. I stood still, my hands shaking. What did she mean by that? Thoughts ran amok in my mind before I noticed a dead prisoner and kicked his body. In order to distract myself from the thoughts lingering in my mind, I had to punish this bastard. Get up, I know you're alive. I picked him up by the collar. We can ask Ju-hee to heal you. It's not too late. I dragged him towards the boss room. He stood there and got killed by the goblins. Trash, I mumbled. I defeated the boss while thinking about the conversation with Rimuru. An elite was called to the scene after Ju-hee and Song Kai-yeol reported the incident. Ah, Mr. Sung? Looks like the guy that questioned me after the incident before. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. I nodded. Then, let me ask this directly: who killed the B-rank hunter, Gang Tae Shik? I froze at his words. If I were to admit that it was me, the contract with Jin-ho would be void. It was me, duh. Rimuru raised her hand. Ah, if it isn't the Demon Lord. Pleasure seeing you here, he spoke. He began to walk away, but before that he had something to say to me. Be careful. I don't think you've been reawakened, but your life is still in danger. In the extermination of Huang Dong-suk's assault team, the only survivors were a D-rank, Miss Rimuru Tempest and you. Huang Dong-suk's younger brother may seek revenge on you guys. The S-rank Huang Dong-su. It would be in your interest to watch out for him. He is a man that even monsters fear. A man that monsters fear. The hairs on my body began to stand up. How chilly. Hey, don't worry, I've got him covered. Rimuru held my hand. If you were to get reappraised, you'd gain even better opportunities. He went his way. Reappraisal? Rimuru? As I was thinking about Rimuru, she was leisurely chatting with Ju-hee. At times like this, she really is just an ordinary person. She's definitely not a B rank. Could she be an S rank? It's not unlikely. She has presented abilities that even S ranks found extraordinary. She can't possibly be a reawakened. I've been with her since the start of her journey as a hunter. A false ranker. Now that I think about it, the two of us have only been on 5 raids together, and she's been in 40 more. Who knows what she did in those raids? I contemplated more about what she could have been until she snapped her fingers in front of me. Hello? Earth to Sung Jin-woo. She giggled. Right, she can't possibly be a maniac that enjoys killing people. She only killed those people because she had to, right? It was weird. I knew Rimuru, yet at the same time it felt like I didn't know her at all. The incident with Wang Dong-suk was the second time it felt like Rimuru was a different person. God, do I know her at all? I've changed. I've changed a lot. The boy that Rimuru befriended, the brother Jin-ah grew up with, and the son my mother raised is no longer here. I fear not knowing Rimuru, yet I've changed too much for her to know me anymore. Will anybody know who I am now? When they know me, will they love me as they have? And when I finally know Rimuru, will our relationship stay the same? What a hypocrite I am.